How we doing, guys? Welcome back to another Garbin's Garage video. I've been patiently awaiting for these two parts to be delivered, so now let's get right into it. So behind me is my 2007 335i e92 with the sport package. So this car comes with a little bit stiffer springs from the factory, and I just threw in some upgraded Bilstein shocks with some new lower control arms. So to be a perfect control. But the one thing it was missing was it did have quite a lot of body roll, and it understeered like crazy. We all know BMW owners, at least non-M, these cars understeer a lot, especially the non-M E46s like I had before. They just love to plow when you're going through high-speed turns. So now here, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. So this is the Whiteline sway bar kit that fits the E90, the E92, and the E93. So to counteract that, we have two sway bars. So our front is going to be upgraded from a 26.5 hollow sway bar to a 27 millimeter solid. And the rear is going to go from this little itty bitty 13 millimeter all the way up to a 20. So the installation process isn't too bad. The front is going to be the easiest. We just have our sway bar end lengths. We have our 413s that hold on the mounts. And then the rear is going to be a little bit more difficult. Rear subframe has to be dropped just a couple of inches. Then you're able to slide it all the way out because it unfortunately does run on top, which is a very smart design. Thanks, BMW.
Yes.
All right, guys, jumping right into it, we're going to go ahead and remove both our front wheels to gain access to the upper sway bar end link mount. Starting with the driver's side, we have a 16 millimeter on the front on this impact, and then I have a 17 millimeter on the back to grab that end link to stop it from spinning. With both of the end links removed up top, we can go ahead and raise the car up. Doesn't matter if you're in a lift or a garage, just need to get underneath to access the sway bar brackets. Now, having a good look underneath, we can see our stock sway bar right here. Here's one mount on the left side and one mount on the right. So we just have 413s to take off, and we're all set. Sway bar mounts off, we can now try to get this sucker out. It's not too hard, but it makes it much easier when you have your links off. I, however, just did it as one piece. Comes out pretty nice. Check out this difference right here. So you can see it actually tapers the size right here. You can see that it gets fatter here and then gets skinnier right here in the middle. So this bar truly is probably a combined 25 millimeters, 26, versus this one's solid and it's 27 millimeters. So this will make a huge difference. And now I'm just going to fully remove both links from the old sway bar to put on our new ones. For these adjustable end links, I'm going to set them pretty much exactly the same length as the stock ones, and I'm going to make the second link exactly the same as this one. So once the car's all put together, we have to tighten these up at ride height to ensure that the torque is going to be equal on each side. Now just tightening on the new adjustable sway bar end links on each side of the sway bar. Had to grab the end with some vice grips because they don't have the 17 millimeter like the old ones do. So the only part I'm going to have to reuse are going to be these bushing brackets that we took off before. So this kit too comes with new polyurethane bushings along with the grease we need for this. So we need to use the existing old brackets like you saw me pop out. I'm going to go ahead and put them on the new sway bar. No worries. Reinstallation, exactly the same. And you can see here, it definitely makes it a lot easier to put your end links on after the sway bar is in, but I just did it as one piece. So kind of have to move them around, squeeze them together, try to get it to fit in right. And then it's all just a matter of tightening down all your 13 millimeters and the bar is installed. So this shows how adjustable end links work pretty well. So as I rotate this, you can see it going down, twist it again, it's coming up. So when the car is on the ground at ride height, I'm gonna tighten this to make the tension equal left to right. All right, the front bar is easy. So now buckle up, folks. Here we're gonna have a difficult time doing this rear one. We gotta drop the subframe. Here's why I'm so not happy to do this. Here's a good wide angle. So there's a link right there. There's a link right there. But if we follow it, that little stick right there, that's the sway bar. Goes way up top. You can even see a little bit of our sway bar mount right up there. So I'm gonna drop this fender liner so I can move this pickup tube out of the way. But there's the little tiny sway bar. It's about the size of my pinky. So I'm gonna drop the subframe probably 4 or 5 inches, then I'll be able to slide it out right here. After breaking all 4 of the big main subframe bolts loose, I'm just going to slowly, little by little, loosen each one to get progressively lower and lower. All right, subframe dropped quite a bit actually. We got probably 3 inches out of there. So now we have more of a clear shot to slide this out. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the 10 mils, take off the end links on both sides and try to slide it out. Bear with me on this part. I did speed it up a little bit, but it is extremely difficult to slide this out. And I gave about 2 more inches of clearance. I dropped the subframe bolts just a little bit more, but you are going to have a much easier time getting this one out than it is to get the new one in. So this 13 millimeter has quite a bit of flex, so you're able to kind of twist it and bend it around the subframe, around the body to get it out. Still is a pain in the ass, but not horrible. With the old bar removed, here's where it kind of sat in the subframe. And wow, look at the difference between these two. So going from a 13 millimeter to a 20 millimeter is going to be a massive difference. This rear sway bar is what I'm most excited about for the handling of this car.
Yes.
Oh. Please tell me you cut that on camera.
Holy moly, I did. Thank God.
So this is the only footage I have of actually getting the bar finally through. You can see my excitement there. It was just so difficult. It probably took me about an hour and a half total. Removed the subframe bolts completely, had to sit there and pry it, but finally got it through. Holy crap, that was a joke. Oh my Lord. After about an hour and a half of finagling, it's all beat up. Subframe bolts are completely out. Sitting here prying against everything. Finally got it out. New one in. Was it really worth it? We'll find out. After that incredibly difficult experience, now it's time to see if it was actually worth it. So here I'm going to throw the car back together, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. What is going on, guys? So it is now Saturday morning, and what a perfect way to test out these sway bars than an autocross. So this is actually going to be the first autocross that I've done in this car, so I'll get some good footage for you guys. I gotta say, with the short amount of time that I've driven on these sway bars, holy crap, this changes the car so much. This is exactly what these cars need to feel like from the factory with sports suspension. Super, super tight, but not too much. Going over bumps still feels great. It's not jolting the front side to side, if you know what it feels like to have a really stiff sway bar. This just feels great. Now cruising up to Venice, Florida for an autocross. Here's my dad and his 03 996, my competitor today, so we'll see how both cars do. Arrived at the autocross spot, going up against a bunch of state competitors, so this will be a fun little challenge. But here's our car, all set up. Sway bar's in, see how she does. Here's my competitor, this is my dad's 996. Lowered on H&R springs with Bilstein V8s. Should be a good little testament. Both on 300 treadwear tires. We'll see how each of us do against each other. So I am up first, and the first thing I notice right away is that the front end feels so much more stable. The nose points exactly where you want to go, and there's so much less body roll. And exactly what I wanted, all of the understeer is gone. Even when I come around this corner, you can see the rear end get a little bit happy. Super fun. It's exactly what I wanted. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is going to be part one of 2 videos that I'm going to make. So the second video is going to go a lot more in depth on exactly how the sway bars change the handling, and I'll have multiple angles to show that. And also, you guys know what this means.